Okay, so if you're building or investing in software right now, you can probably feel it. The ground is literally shifting beneath us. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're breaking down this wild phenomenon that top venture capital firms are calling the Centaur race. Now, Centaur, in this context, is a company that hits $100 million in annual recurring revenue, or ARR. We're going to dive right into the latest 2026 data to see exactly how the AI era is completely tearing up the old playbook on how to build a $100 million business.
So the big question we really have to ask ourselves right off the bat is this. How long does it actually take to reach that elusive $100 million ARR milestone? Well, if you're still running the old playbook, you probably have a very specific timeline in your head. But as we're about to see from the data, those old milestones, yeah, they've been completely obliterated by a whole new breed of startups.
Just take a look at this massive timeline shift from Bessemer Venture Partners' latest Cloud 100 benchmarks. Back during the traditional cloud era, it took an average of about 7.5 years to reach Centaur status. Today, AI-native startups are hitting that exact same milestone in an astonishing 5.7 years. And get this, the absolute highest performers, they're doing it in just 18 months to 4 years. The sheer velocity we are seeing here is completely unprecedented.
Now, this presents a pretty stark reality for legacy companies, because this isn't just about AI companies growing faster, right? It's about what happens to everyone else. Bessemer actually puts it incredibly bluntly. They say, for those who can't adapt, AI is a mass extinction moment for software. That's an existential threat. Basically, if you're a traditional SaaS CEO in 2026 and you're refusing to adapt to these new benchmarks, your business is risking total irrelevance in the next 1 to 2 years.
So the really crucial thing to grasp here is that this is absolutely not just some marketing trend. The traditional SaaS architecture, literally the very foundation of how software was built, packaged, and monetized for the last 20 years, is collapsing. Historically, SaaS was built on this 3-layer architecture: data management, business logic, and the user interface. But AI is fundamentally undermining that whole structure. It's completely changing how the actual work gets done and how software is valued by the buyer.
To really understand why it's collapsing, we have to talk about the main culprit, agentic AI. This is artificial intelligence that actually displaces traditional software architectures. How? Well, it does this by migrating that business logic layer directly into an AI orchestration layer. So instead of a human clicking through a super rigid interface to execute business rules, an AI agent just goes ahead and does the work for you. It literally turns your software stack into a network of intelligent collaborators. And in the process, it makes those older, rigid, click-heavy software structures completely obsolete.
And here's the other side of the coin. While the tech is advancing at lightning speed, the economics of acquiring customers are getting brutally hard. The new median customer acquisition cost, or CAC, has skyrocketed to $1,200. Ad costs on places like Google and LinkedIn are just through the roof right now. Spending $2 to acquire every $1 of new ARR? That's actually become the norm for traditional companies. And let's be real, growing inefficiently like this will literally bankrupt you at these prices.
Which brings us to our first main takeaway: the 3 metrics that actually matter.
Look, if customer acquisition is really that expensive and the technology is changing that fast, you have got to ruthlessly focus your attention. If you're a founder or an investor and you're short on time, these are the only 3 indicators that predict survival today. First up, net revenue retention, or NRR, needs to hit a 106% median target. That proves your product has real value. Second, your CAC payback period absolutely must be under 12 to 15 months to ensure a fast speed to profitability. And third, gross margins must be 75% or higher, which proves you can actually deliver your service efficiently, even when you factor in those heavy AI compute costs.
And here's the harsh truth we all need to hear. Everything else on your dashboard is probably just a vanity metric. I mean, sure, it feels super productive to track 15 different charts showing website visits or raw lead volume, right? But honestly, anything outside of NRR, CAC payback, and gross margin is just downstream noise. Those 3 core metrics are the only ones telling you if the fundamental engine of your business is actually working.
Now, let's zoom in on NRR for a second, because honestly, this is where the magic happens. A staggering 40 to 50% of all new ARR in mature companies now comes strictly from expansion revenue. Think about that. Not new logos, not flashy new marketing campaigns. It comes from upselling and growing the customers you already have. Expansion is hands down the cheapest growth available on the market right now. And this directly translates to velocity. Companies with an NRR above 100% grow 1.5 to 3 times faster than their peers. Keeping your current customers happy and getting them to spend more?
That is the ultimate cheat code to SaaS nirvana. If you're obsessing over acquiring new customers at that crazy $1,200 price tag while your existing customers are quietly churning out the back door, you are basically building your business on quicksand.
So, that brings us to the next big shift we need to talk about, the hybrid pricing imperative.
Because how do you actually capture that expansion revenue when AI is the one doing the work instead of humans? For 2 decades, software was mostly sold per seat, meaning you'd buy a license for every single employee. But as AI agents reduce customer headcount, selling per seat literally punishes the vendor just for making the customer more efficient. It makes no sense. You have to move to hybrid pricing. This means charging a baseline platform fee plus a usage-based fee that's tied directly to the AI value you deliver. This finally aligns your revenue with the actual value you're providing, rather than just the number of human bodies using the software.
All right, now let's look at the wild card in all of this, how vibe coding accelerates absolutely everything.
Okay, so we fixed the business model, but this wildcard is fundamentally changing how the software itself is actually built. It's a really cool concept called vibe coding. Coined by AI pioneer Andrej Karpathy, vibe coding is this revolutionary approach to building applications simply by describing your ideas in natural language. You literally just tell the AI what you want, and it generates the functional code for you. It completely eliminates the dreaded blank page problem and enables this incredibly seamless workflow going straight from a no-code idea to pro-code execution.
And let me tell you, the ripple effects of vibe coding across the industry are absolutely massive. First off, speed. A well-scoped minimum viable product that used to take 6 months to build back in 2022, that now ships in just 4 to 6 weeks. Second is adoption. 84% of developers are already using these AI tools in their daily workflows. And third, it is powering this huge economic shift. We're talking about a boom of 25 to 30 million US solopreneurs who are now building and scaling massive businesses without hiring a single traditional employee. The barrier to entry hasn't just been lowered, it is completely collapsed.
Which naturally leads us to our final key topic, winning the AI era.
So how do all these new building tools and pricing models actually translate into the capital efficiency that investors are demanding today? Well, to put it plainly, the era of growth at all costs is officially over. Full stop. The days of burning endless venture capital to acquire highly unprofitable customers just to show off some top-line revenue growth, those days are gone. Hypergrowth with terrible unit economics is simply no longer rewarded by investors or, frankly, by reality. If you want to see who's really winning right now, you have to look at the burn multiple. Basically, how much cash are you burning to generate a single dollar of new revenue? And the divide here is stunning. Traditional mid-stage SaaS companies currently have a burn multiple of around 1.4x, but AI-native SaaS companies, they're operating at 1.0x or even lower. They are literally growing faster while spending significantly less cash, simply because their internal operations are hyper-automated. Just think about the sheer operational efficiency of that for a second. AI startups are spending exactly $1 to generate $1 of new ARR. Because they use vibe coding to build faster and they deploy AI agents to handle their own customer support, they're able to compress their operating costs without compressing their revenue growth at all. Which brings us right to this crucial target number, $150,000 to $250,000. That right there is the 2026 benchmark for ARR generated per employee. If you are running a software company today, you really need to take a hard look at your team. With all the incredible AI tools available right now, is your headcount truly driving this level of revenue per person? Because if not, your internal systems are simply too slow and you're leaving yourself totally vulnerable to leaner, faster competitors.
So let's pull all this together and summarize the actionable takeaways from the data into your 2026 survival playbook. Number 1, you've got to shift from legacy per-seat pricing to hybrid usage-based models. Number 2, automate your own internal workflows and customer support so you can keep those gross margins above 75%. Number 3, focus fiercely on net revenue retention so you're growing efficiently through the customers you already have. And number 4, fully embrace vibe coding and AI development tools to radically compress your launch times.
The data we've looked at today is incredibly clear. The Centaur race is moving faster than ever before, and the rules of the game have completely changed. So I want to leave you with this final, critical thought to ponder. Take a hard look at your dashboards today. Ask yourself, is your business model actually designed to survive 2026? Or are you still out there running the 2022 playbook? It's time to evolve. Thanks so much for diving into this explainer with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.